This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the Planet MicroCap Showcase at Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas. Eric Langan, RCI Hospitality Holdings, Inc. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is RIC. Welcome back to SNNLive.
Thanks for having us on the show, Shelley.
It's good to have you back, and thank you for coming to the conference.
Oh, we appreciate you getting the invite to come out, and we love to present to your investors.
Well, thank you. Now, let's start out. Explain to our viewers out there, investors, do an overview on the company, and then we'll go from there.
Well, we have 41 units around the country. We're the leader in adult entertainment, and we've really, in the last 4 years, started developing a new restaurant franchise called Bombshells. We're actually registered in all 50 states self-franchising now, and we launched our franchise campaign actually this week here in Vegas at Caesars at the Multi-Club Franchise Expo. And so we're very excited about the prospects of building that Bombshells brand in addition to making acquisitions in our adult entertainment space.
So let's talk about the company in general, and you jumped ahead a little bit and you're telling me all about the new stuff. Let's talk about your adult entertainment facilities and these units. That where do you make money with that?
Well, we make money in the adult space everywhere, from the obviously liquor sales, cover charges, VIP room rentals, to the bathroom valets, to the parking valets. Basically, everybody there is in one way or another contributing to our revenues.
How's business?
Business has been great. We had a little down cycle prior to the election, and I think there's because of all the uncertainty, especially among small business owners, which are a big portion of our clientele. But since the election is over, and I guess the market's gone a little crazy and running up, and I think people are optimistic about the future. They're optimistic about lower income taxes, and we're seeing a nice spike in our same store sales now.
So let me go now back to Bombshell for a minute. This is new. This is where did this idea all come from, and where are you going to take it?
Well, we were looking at getting into what's considered the restaurant space. Restaurants where the female entertainment is part of the concept, but we wanted to take it a step further. And talking with one of my vice president, and we were talking, and he was like, well, my grandfather was in the military, and what if we went with a military thing to make like a World War II, and we call it Bombshells because, that's the old pinup girl, so everyone will think of sexy girls. And so we started really getting out into the marketplace with the name and doing some questioning of different age groups, and we found anybody over 35 heard Bombshells, and they immediately thought of pinup girls.
You mean like Betty Grable?
Absolutely. And then
giving my age away. Right?
But when you get to the 25 to 35-year-old crowd and you say Bombshells, they thought of the Gulf War, so bombs dropping and that type of stuff. So we thought, well, this is a really neat concept because now we can appeal not to only the older crowd but also the millennials. And so in the evening time, the reason I think we've been so successful is we kind of we took our expertise in the bar business and applied it to this restaurant concept and said, we'll be a restaurant till 10 o'clock because everybody quits eating after 10. So what are we going to do from 10 to 2 o'clock in the morning because we have liquor license, allows us to sell liquor till 2. And so we converted into it. And so we've got 4 distinct demographic groups where we have a lunch crowd of people that work in the area. Then we have the typical, Hooters, type customers that's coming in for the happy hours. And then we have a dinner crowd, which are people that live in the area. And then from 10 to 2 in the morning, we're getting this millennial group, 25 to 35-year-olds that are using it as a social place to gather and drink. And, we have DJs that come out and play music, and we make it just a fun social experience. And so the whole concept became what I call a social dining experience, because people are tired of just going to restaurants. If you want to get food, you go to all these fast casuals, and that's why I think you're seeing the overall restaurant space decline, but you're seeing a nice increase. So we had 10.4% same-store sales increase last year while all the restaurants were declining because the entertainment component makes people come, and we don't try to get you in and get you out in 45 minutes trying to get somebody else on your table. We want you there to stay all night long. And so it's just a little different concept in creating that social experience.
Now you announced it at Caesars, but where are the locations going to be? Are you going to use strip malls, not to use a pun, I mean, are you going to put it out where you normally would put Rick's?
Well, the Bombshells is a different concept. We're building from the ground up right now on our company stores. We're going to do about 3 company stores a year, and we hope to do sign up 3 franchising groups this year, and then about 3 franchising groups a year. And there'll be an area deal where they'll agree to open, anywhere from 3 to 5 stores, and they'll open 1 a year. And so we'll open our 3. We sign up 3. So in 2018, we hope to open up 6 new units, 3 company-owned, 3 franchise. Then in 19, we would open up 3 company and 6 franchise, 3 new franchise units, plus our first franchise will be opening their second stores. And so we hope to get that going, which will put us between 80 and 100 units in the next 5 to 10 years.
What cities are you choosing to use?
Well, we hope to go nationwide, but for the sake of being able to operate everything and build up to it, we'll probably start in Texas and surrounding states. Then we'll move east to Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi type deal, and then start moving more north central, Tennessee, and surrounding areas. Then move over to Arizona and New Mexico. Of course, depending on the right franchisee, we could be anywhere tomorrow. It's really about finding the right franchisee. We could have sold franchisees already, but we want the right people. We want to get someone who's got multi-unit experience, who understands the franchising concept, not necessarily a new entrepreneur who's going to have his own ideas, but someone that's going to embrace what we've already created and help make it better.
So you've kind of answered my next question a little bit. I wanted to ask you about Milestones and where from what you can tell me, where you'd like to be in a couple of years. But I think you've kind of told me a little bit. Well, but let's get a little bit deeper.
Sure. Well, let me say where our focus is. In 2016, at the beginning of fiscal year, so September 15, we came up with a cap allocation strategy and policy on how we were going to create more cash flow and how we were going to use that cash flow and reinvest that cash flow for our shareholders. We've always been a great growth company, but we weren't always reinvesting our money in the best sense that we could have for the highest returns. So by creating this cap allocation strategy, we were able to do that. So our focus has gone from top line growth and EBITDA growth to free cash flow per share growth. And so what we want to do is what we're very focused on is a 10 to 15% increase annually on free cash flow, yield per share. So like this year at $18 million with our current share count, we'd be at about $1.85 a share. So to get our growth rate where we want to be, we need to be at around $2.15 a share for fiscal 2018. So that's really where our focus is. And then the following year, $2.45. And so we'll keep trying to push that same store or that free cash flow growth. And the rest of the lines will grow however they grow. Because the most important line to us is that free cash flow per share.
So if you had your druthers, is there acquisitions out there that you would look at, or you just want to stay organically growing?
Oh, no, we're definitely growing through acquisitions. The point was we were, based on our free cash flow yield of buying back our own stock, we were at 21 to 22% when the stock was at $7 and $8. Now that the stock's up to $17, our free cash flow yield's about 10.9%. So we look at a hurdle rate of 25 to 33% if we're going to take risk, because we look at buying back our stock as a risk-free investment. It's because it's assets we already know and cash flow that's pretty much proven. So when we go take risk for new cash flow, we need at least a double that yield. Well, when the yield was 20, we needed a 40+% yield. So we just quit buying anything but our own stock for about a year. We were able to buy back 836,000 shares of our stock, pay off all of our convertible debt. All of our warrants have expired. And so we have a very clean capital structure. We have a very nice balance sheet with about $12 million in cash. We have about $100 million in debt, but over 70% of that is real estate related because we own the majority of our real estate that our clubs and restaurants are operating in. And so we just solidly built that cash flow, and we're going to continue to focus on the cash flow instead of all the other distractions.
Now, one last question. When I asked you about acquisitions, are there really a lot of acquisitions out there left for you to go after in the same business?
Well, there's 3,500 clubs in the U.S. We estimate that there are about 500 that meet our criteria as far as market size and where we want to own and we own 37 of them. So, I think there's a ton left. We're not even at 10% yet. Okay. And we're a market leader. So in our industry, and most market leaders, you own 20 or 30% of market share, which we wouldn't do till we own 500. So I think there's still a ton of growth out there for us.
Eric, let's get your website out there for our investor audience, if you would.
All right, sure. It's real simple, Shelley. It's just rcihospitality.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Langan, RCI Hospitality Holdings, Inc. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is RICK. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you from the Planet MicroCap Showcase 2017 at Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas. Eric, thanks for coming on to SNNLive.
Thanks for having us on the show, Shelley.
My
Appreciate it.
pleasure.